All right, we're on Avot. Perek Hey, Mishnah Daled, the fourth Mishnah of the fifth chapter of Masechet Avot. It says when you're listening to counts of 10, it's very interesting. It says in Mishnah, Asara nisim na'asu la'avotenu b'mitzrayim, va'asara alayam. So, in the list of 10 miracles were done for our forefathers in Egypt, and 10 on the Yam Suf. Similarly, as we know, there were 10 plagues that God brought on the Egyptians in Egypt, and 10 on the Yam Suf. 10 of them were on the Yam Suf. Okay, so what were the 10 nisim that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for our 4,000 Mitzrayim? One, because we know there shenitsolu me'eser makkot. They were saved from the 10 makkot. And all of them were on the Egyptians and not on Bnei Israel. And the commentaries point out that specifically that the Torah points out in most of them, not in all of them, in 8 or 9 of them, the Torah points out and it says, "Oh, and God did to the Egyptians, and the Jewish people were saved." Okay, so that's the 10 miracles that were done for our forefathers in Egypt. What were the 10 miracles on the Yam Suf? So all the commentaries point them out and they list them. So we'll go into the Bar Tanura. What were the 10 on the Yam? Echad, vayibaku hamayim. So what were the 10 miracles? That the water split. 2, and these are all in Avot Rabbi Natan. We're going to just see something specific from Avot Rabbi Natan at the end. 2, shenasa yam kimin ohel. That the Yam was like a tent. Okay. 3, shlishi, shenasa karka'it hayam yavesh. That the bottom of the Yam Suf, when they walked, was dry. 4, when the Egyptians got to that same spot, they were chasing after Israel. It became wet and muddy and impossible for them to pass. That's 4. 5, 5, that the water that was frozen on the karka wasn't one piece, it was small pieces. It was like a nice brick walkway. And the question is why it was necessary? Not really sure. Shishit, number 6. Those brick things, the frozen waters, became like slaim, like stones. Okay, and Shvi'i, 7. They didn't walk in one big walkway. It was 12 separate walkways. Each tribe walked by itself. Okay, number 8, Shmini. So now if they walked in their other walkways, so then they couldn't see each other. No, they could, because it was sapir v'shoam zchuchit. It was like glass. It was clear. They were clear stones. The walls between them were clear. The tribes would see each other. They had the pillar of fire to light the way for them, so they could see each other. That was number 8. Shi'i, 9. There was also fresh water. The Yam Suf is the Red Sea is a saltwater body, but they had fresh water they could drink. And number 10, after they were done drinking, the leftover water, they had like a water fountain, it became like a pillar. So those are the 10 miracles. Eser makkot, that the Eser Asara Alayam, the 10 miracles on the Yam. We know what the Eser makkot on the Egyptians were, etc. Eser Alayam, what were the 10 makkot on the Yam? They were Keneged Eser Nefilot Sheb'Shirat Vayosha. We don't know exactly what they were, but I mean it says in 10 times the 10 Nefilot in Vayosha Hashem, Rama Bayam, Yara Bayam, Tu'u Bayam Suf. A lot of bad things happened to them. So if you go through Az Yashir, we know that these 10 things happened terribly to them. Next, Asara. And so the question really is, why in the world is this important to list in Pirkei Avot? So I thought I would just quote you the beginning of. Remember we said Avraham Avinu had the 10 generations from Avraham Avinu. That was what we learned in last time. The 10 nisyonot of Avraham Avinu. I'm sorry, the 10 nisyonot, the 10 tests of Avraham Avinu. So it says Avot Rabbi Natan before it introduces all of these things. Keneged Eser Nisyonot Shinasa Avraham Avinu, Ulevekulam Nimsa Shalem, corresponding to the 10 Nisyonot, the 10 tests of Avraham, Ukenegdam Asa Kadosh Baruch Hu Yud Nisim Levana b'Mitzrayim. So corresponding to that, almost as a reward for that. So we saw interestingly in the last Mishnah, it says, Lodia Kama Chibato Shel Avraham Avinu, the love of Avraham Avinu. Okay, we also saw the idea that Avraham ba v'kibel alav schar kulam. Avraham got the reward of the 10 generations. So I think what this is not stam a list. 10 nisim that happened to the Jews, and the 10 on the Yam, and the 10 makkot, but rather the Avot Rabbi Danta sees a correlation. Avraham Avinu had 10 tests, and he passed all 10 tests. So keneged asara nisyonot v'nimsa kulam shalem, ukenegdam asa kadosh baruch hu yud nisim lebara b'mitzrayim. Corresponding to Avraham Avinu's successes, that's why they had the 10 miracles. And kenegdam avi eser makkot kenegdam nasu Yisrael asara nisim al hayam. So all of these were corresponding this idea of zchut avot, that this Mishnah is not stam a list, but rather it's a list of the merits that the Bnei Israel had because of the zchut of Avraham Avinu. Last list, not so great. Asara nisyonot nisu avotenu et hamakom baruch hu. The Jewish people tested God 10 times. Bamidbar in the desert, as it says, God Himself said when He punished the Jewish people, the Chedim Baragim was like too much already. They tested me these 10 times, and they didn't hear my voice. What are the 10? Shnayim bayam, 2 in the Yam Suf. Okay, when they tested God, the first one they said, are there not any graves? They complained at the beginning and complained at the end. 1 in Refidim, they fought with Moshe. 2 with the man. God says, don't go out, and they went out. And then says, don't leave over. Vayotiru. Shnayim baslav, remember the Slav, Rabbi Shon, B'shiptem, Abasir, Basar. They complained, oh, we're so great in Egypt. The second one, they had Hitabu Ta'ava, 1 with the Egel and 1 with the Mitonanim, and the Meraglim is the 10th one, 10 tests. So after all that, after the miracles and etc., they still tested a Kadosh Baruch Hu 10 times. We'll stop here, dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rab Simcha Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.